Up next, we're going to learn the fitMedia function in EarSketch.
So, fitMedia. fitMedia is what we call built-in function in EarSketch. In other words, someone on the EarSketch team designed a function called fitMedia to take a sound, any sound you choose, to place it on a certain track, which we'll describe. But think of it as different rows or train tracks having sounds playing side by side, as we saw in the demo. And then you need to tell it where to start and where to end. And it's going to start and end on specific measures. What you'll notice is that tracks are integers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. There are an unlimited number of tracks you can put in there. They're integers, so you can't say it's track 2.3. It's got to be track 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, start and end, those can be floats like 2.0, 3.3, etc. We'll describe what measures are in a moment. This is the point where I switch over into live coding in EarSketch. And I'll start that by saying, click here to create a new script. At this point, use your stage name. Mine's breakbeat code. Maybe the date. In my case, it's 12/17. And then maybe first song, for example. You'll notice up here, it has some sort of standard code that's just like included in the template. We say, go ahead and write the code below this. And we'll say, first thing we want you to do, I'll zoom in and I'll go sound equals. So everyone just type in sound equals. And again, you do this under set tempo. It doesn't have to be a space right there, by the way. But if you have a space, it's easier to read. And then we're just going to choose one of these sounds that you like. Have your cursor next to the equal sign. And I like this one. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to redo that so you can see that again. Just click that blue button, and that's the paste to the code editor button. And you'll notice if you've done that correctly, you should see a little green play button right there. If you do it incorrectly, it might mean maybe you clicked it twice by accident, which is the easiest thing to do is just delete the whole thing and start again. Or they might have accidentally deleted part of the sound file name. And again, you can see it. If you got the green play button, you know that you pasted it in properly. On the next line, type track equals 1. Start equals 1. End equals 20. These different words, sound, track, start, and end, that I wrote into my script, those are variable names. Variables are like a name tag. They're simply name tags. They're just short names for some sort of value. And so sound, track, start, and end, I just created these different names to make it really easy for me to read my code and update it. The next line of code I'm going to write, this is where I might switch back to the code editor, like this. Again, I'll go fitMedia, FIT, capital M for media. So think fit, like I'm fitting this sound into the track. I'm just placing it, and I might make it shorter or longer. And media just being, in this case, the sound. And in parentheses, sound, comma, track, comma, start, comma, end. And then I'm going to hit the run button. Hit play. It'll sound like this for me. So notice it started on 1. It's on track 1. It's ending on 20. And these sounds are repeating back to back. And that's what fitMedia does. It says, if you give me a sound, just like ordering a pizza, if you tell me what sound you want to play, on what track to play it, where to start, where to stop, I'll follow your instructions. I'll take those types of information that you want, those actual values, and I'll play your track. But how did it know what to play? Well, it just knows that sound is equal to the sound, track is equal to 1, start is equal to 1, and end is equal to 20. And I encourage students to, maybe they want to play around with the way where this stops and starts. Maybe they want to start it instead on 16, like that. And you can see it's now playing on 6, it's now ending on 16. And so for some students, they might see this and then they might just go off on their own. And if that's what they want to do, where they just start coding away and just kind of, maybe they already have some coding background, or maybe they just something clicked for them and they feel like, okay, no, I think I got this. I'm just going to keep on experimenting. We strongly encourage that. So we go back to the slides, and this will allow us to just walk through this one by one, line by line. And the Python interpreter reads instructions just the same way you might have a trainee who is working at the restaurant for the first time, and the chef is telling them how to make a pizza. They're going to say, step 1, go to the fridge. And then they go over to the fridge, open the fridge door. They open the fridge door, get out the dough. They grab the dough, close the fridge door, close the fridge door, walk over back to the table. They walk over back to the table, start to knead the dough. And they describe how to do that step by step. Same thing here. When you click the run button, EarSketch will walk through the code line by line, and I'll read it to say, like, okay, when you say sound equals, you're creating a variable in memory. And when we think of the memory, the computer's memory, you can think of it as a table, in this case, with a column that has the variable names. And the next column is the values assigned to those variables. So sound with common love drum beat 1, track with 1 as the value, start with 1 as the value, and end with 20 as the value. And then when you have fitMedia sound track start end, it's basically swapping out those values. So it'll actually say, you mean I want to play common love drum beat on track 1, starting on measure 1, ending on measure 20. And it's going to be played in a loop. And you can go to breakbeat co.d/1a. And when you go there, you will land on a Google Doc that doesn't require a login. We're just going to we'll go Control A, Control C on a Chromebook or a Windows device, and it would be Command A, Command C to select all, and then copy it on a Mac. We'll go back into EarSketch. And if students already have their own working code, we encourage them to keep on playing around with it. For the students, maybe they ran into some errors and they just didn't feel like they grasped the concept, or they just wanted a little bit of help. We tell them, like, just go ahead and create a example 1A and a new script. We tell them just delete all of this code and then paste in the code that copied from that example script. And it'll look like this. And click the run button. So now they have their own sample code. So now all the coding that they need to do at this point, for those students who want to start with an example, they can delete this. And then let's say they just delete that sound. They choose something else that they like. Maybe this bass line, this drum beat. If they like that, they can go in there. All they had to delete was that sound file name. They had to go into, choose another sound, click that blue button, that paste to editor button we saw right here. And they are coding in the same way that any student has typed all the code. They've coded just as much as the other students. And a lot of students will start off, a lot of engineers will start off with a lot of copying and pasting at the beginning, and they'll continue to copy and paste for the rest of their career. Copy and paste is a totally valid way to code. So no matter how you got there, whether you typed it all out yourself or you took from this example, everyone in the room right now is an artist engineer. Some students will look at me a little bit quizzically when I say that, but then I'll say, like, how many songs do you need to create before you are an artist? And someone will definitely say one. Exactly. One song. How many different scripts do you need to write to become an engineer? And they'll say one. Exactly. At this point, it's up to you whether you want to keep going, how far you want to go into this. Are you going to be an amazing artist engineer at this point? Maybe not. But think about this. With just a little bit of coding, with little or no experience, you've now placed your first sound in your first track. And now with a little bit more coding, you're going to put in a few more tracks. And this song is going to start to sound pretty interesting.